why is just quitting important? Yeah, so like,
I told you that was genius. Like,
genius.
I don't speak facts for no reason.
For what? Why are you sorry? Don't say sorry, bro. You played in your deck. Own it.
I can probably build a throne with these.
Sounds crazy. You 50% of the time you're losing a game.
If you play Flu, you never touch grass ever in your life.
I broke the full Snake Eye board with Engine. Like, don't even ask me how.
Walking top 8 of a Worlds with nothing.
Because I want this game to succeed. I am so passionate about this game.
How much do they win if you win Worlds?
Yo, what's up, brother? Today is gonna be an insane long talk.
Next, we got Pac. Yo, Pac, how you doing, broski?
Bro, I quit, bro.
Wait, what?
Yeah, bro. I'm out. I'm out the team, bro.
Wait,
I
what?
quit? I quit it too!
The heck?
Bro, I'm just tired. I'm tired of, you know, all this noise.
Pac was my bridge. Without Pac, that shit makes no sense no more. I quit.
Shit, everybody's quitting,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
Why are you quitting, bro?
Everyone's quitting, bro. Yo, we need some change. You know what I'm saying?
Oh my God.
We need to take a stand.
Are you guys actually quitting, or are you trolling me?
Bro, of course not. Are you trolling?
You stupid. Like, brother, I will be the last man standing. Everyone is gonna quit before me.
Really?
It's gonna be crazy.
Nesh, listen, honestly, guys, I'm not gonna quit as well. I will quit Yu-Gi-Oh! As soon as Nesh wins the World Championship.
Word, brother? Word? Actually?
Yeah, Nesh, when you win the World Championship,
you might be quitting next year then.
Nesh, when you win the World Championship, see you, bro. I'm gone. I'm deleting Team Samurai. It's over.
No. Give it to me. Holy shit. That sounds crazy.
All right, guys. So right now in the Yu-Gi community, there are a bunch of crazy statements and things going on right here, right now. So I thought it would be perfect to have the three of us come on here. You know, one is a professional Yu-Gi-Oh coach and also a professional Yu-Gi-Oh player, and the other one has a lot of YCS championships under his belt. So I feel like it'll be awesome to get a perspective on what these guys think about the state of Yu-Gi-Oh. And honestly, I feel like we have to talk about this topic every single year. There's always new things that come out. Literally, like, I feel like this topic comes up every single year about people quitting Yu-Gi-Oh, about how the game is shit, about how the game is bad. So I feel like we should address this together for this year and do a breakdown on the most controversial video out right now that was released this week by Jess herself, the plant god, if you guys want to say, call her that. You know what I'm saying? One of the best plant players in the world. If you guys don't know who Jess is, she is a competitive Yu-Gi-Oh player. She went to Worlds. She played plants. You know what I'm saying? Top 8 in Worlds last year. And now she is quitting Yu-Gi-Oh. All right? So when she quit, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's making videos on it. MBT made a video on it. Everybody's talking about her quitting. And why is this important? Like, why is just quitting important?
Many people like actually compare the situation to one of the Bozos in their local quitting the game because they rage over the Fiendsmiths or Snake Eye Coma and stuff like that. But like, just quitting, it's actually a huge deal. She worked for Konami.
Okay.
She was making ads for Konami. And she quitting means a lot.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about that today. We're actually, if you guys want to see the original video that she made about why she's quitting competitive Yu-Gi-Oh, I recommend you guys check it out. I'll leave it on the screen for you guys to have a reference, and also leave it in the description box below for you guys to check out as well. And that's why I got these two guys on here, because I want to know your guys' thoughts on some of the statements that she's made, and I want to know whether or not you guys agree or disagree with what she's made. So honestly, anybody quitting Yu-Gi-Oh isn't like a wonderful thing for me to see, because this game is like my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's my livelihood. I played Yu-Gi-Oh for over 10, 15 years now, and this has been part of my lifestyle, and I love this game. And seeing people go and not being able to just enjoy the card game that I love definitely impacts me as well, right? So have you guys seen the video, by the way? Have you guys watched the video?
Yeah, of course. It's like, it blew up, so I took the time to, like, you know, go through it and react to it. And I think she definitely made some very like interesting points that I'm excited to kind of go over, and then also obviously to hear your thoughts as well in the comment section below. So let me know if you guys agree with the statements that are being made here.
And you know, and just in case, I just want to make a disclaimer: if any Konami or Yu-Gi-Oh employees are watching this, I just want to let you guys know that we're not bashing the game. We love the game Yu-Gi-Oh so much, and I feel like you know, like, if I have this platform, I want to, you know, I want everyone's voices to be heard. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why we make these videos, because at the end of the day, we're also trying to make this game enjoyable for everyone. And I'm pretty sure you guys as a company are trying to make this game enjoyable for everyone as well. So yeah, we're not bashing anything. We just want to give our takes and our opinions on the stuff that we're about to discuss. So you guys ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, guys, Jess, she's quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! Just a quick rundown. You know, she worked for Konami. She's one of the best players in the entire world. She made ads for Konami. You guys can see, you know, I'll put some B-rolls up for you guys to just see. So she's involved with Konami a lot, and her leaving the game definitely is, made a huge impact on the community. Jess mentions that Yu-Gi-Oh! Has the best mechanics, but now it doesn't excite her anymore. There are concerns about blanket effects like Mochummy, Dimensional Shifter, Spooky Dogwood being unhealthy for the game. Okay?
Yeah, don't say that, bro. I just got triggered. I got PTSD warning. Roll the clip.
Giving life points over to George there. Again, remember, if he didn't special summon at all this turn, it actually does half the life points of the player using that card. But I don't think that's the way we're going. We're going to special summon as much as it takes.
If I got hit by a Spooky Dogwood, I would probably just go for that and just pass turn, just try to get the turn back, make the reach really short, just summon to go to battle phase attack for game.
I'm big on that too, whether it's Volt
that's a judgment call you're going to have to make if you have those cards. But right now we're going to IP Masquerena, and we're going to attempt to summon out Snake Eyes Diabellstar. We're going to put the Poplar back into the Spell and Trap Zone.
There is still the Desiree. It's interesting to hold on, and I know that George is aware of it. Like, oh, but it's not enough.
Can you explain how these effects impact gameplay and why they might be considered detrimental to Yu-Gi-Oh?
We already stated our concerns regarding lingering effects.
Yes.
And we did that multiple times, Shifter and stuff. Now imagine all the Konami employee locked into a room and they are trying to find the solution, and the solution was Mochummy.
Mochummy, right?
Which is a lingering effect.
So there's so the solution to the solution is no solution.
No, there are many solutions to the approach, right? But like adding, like stacking up lingering effects is not gonna like end up in a good way, because I see what they were trying to do. They were trying to improve the going second strategies, but I think that was a poor way to do it.
Okay, so you definitely agree with that statement that these cards are obviously like really bad for the game, especially Chummy. Like Chummy right now, like Pac, what do you think
about?
It's
not only Chummy, like you mentioned it before, right? There is also the Spooky Dogwood, right? If you were at European Wises, you could have seen how many players were on Spooky Dogwood and how it was the prevalent strategy for going for going second in the game 3. And like it was kind of forced because of the Fiendsmiths engine.
Right. So basically, if you're playing Fiendsmith, like, do you guys think it's justifiable to play Spooky Dogwood in your side deck?
I think it's seeing a lot more play because people are just are kind of like starting to get into competitive, but they don't really know, like the combos are kind of difficult. Again, a lot of people don't I guess a lot of people don't put in the time or effort to like learn how to efficiently play them.
Yeah.
So as a result, the game kind of like lasts a little bit longer. And then of course, if people decide to play like a breaker type strategy where they play cards like Darker Than No More, Talons, Mind Control, Change of Heart, all that good stuff, it kind of like forces your opponent to play like and drag the games out. So Dogwood is like kind of like almost like a cheese win con that people are just kind of like using to just cheese a win. Like I think like 9 out of 10 times they lose that game every single time, but they're basically just trying to take advantage of like the time rules that are in place pretty much. And Dogwood does allow them to do that.
There is Dogwood, which was the prevalent strategy, as Pac said, but it's not only that, right? Because you don't need to slow play if you have Dogwood. Like the games are so complicated right now. Every game is so like it drags out so slow right now. Even if you play into a board, you will get Dogwood in game 3. Like if you actually try to play the game, you will go on time 100% of the times. That's why even board breaker strategies, like if you check the top 64, I would say that at least 70% of them was on Dogwood. You will see that like that was something that people noticed. That was something that like people analyzed, and like it's not healthy. It's not something that should be like abusing of a rule. It's not something that should be done.
Yeah, it's also because, like, to add on, I think the main reason is because like in game 3, I think Dog was almost used as a preventative measure, because if your opponent starts game 3 and they play Fiendsmith in their deck, they can trigger Lacrima to burn for 12 and then win in time, right? So it's almost like you're forced to play Dogwood to counteract the Lacrima burning you. So it's like twofold. It's the fact that the Fiendsmith engine has a built-in
burn effect,
and the games are taking longer because of the complexity of like, you know, power creep, you know, going beyond like a point where like it's not, the games aren't that simple anymore, right? Hand traps also hand traps, a lot of people would assume would be, oh, you hand trap your opponent, the games would be really fast because you just, you know, your opponent passes. But the thing you have to realize is that no one passes the 2 hand traps anymore. Like no one passes to that. But they will make a half board that is decent enough to play the game, and those games do get dragged out, right? I think that the issue is a lot of players have trouble identifying earlier on whether or not they're going to be able to win from this position, right? And I think it makes sense because not everyone has the amount of playtesting hours to realize when it's a losing position, you know? Like in chess, you know how like players like at a high level, like they would resign the match because they know they're getting checkmated. They know they can't do anything. But a lot of players don't see that or have that foresight. So as a result, that game goes to time. And of course, like I said, it has to you need that card almost to counteract your opponent just going Lacrima effect and just, you know, cheesing a W off you.
Yeah. That was one of the worst mistakes. Printing it like a time effect to a card that was already good was so unnecessary. It's actually unbelievable how unnecessary it was, and it was done. Talking about the Fiendsmiths engine, it improved several decks, right?
Yes.
And also improved the quality of how a deck can play through entraps.
Yes, exactly.
And as Pac mentioned before, now every deck, or I would say every good deck, or tier 1, tier 1.5, is able to play through 2 entraps. Now, here, like, kinda shakes the fundamental of the game of how a 1 card should be able to combo, and how an extender should impact the 1 card being stopped. In my opinion, like a 1 card combo should have a fair board, right? And if he gets stopped by an entrap and you actually have an extender, it should not make the full board as Snake Eye is doing right now. Because if I normal summon Snake Eye Ash and you imper and I have Bonfire in my hand or I have Witch, that's a full board right there. Exactly. It's like nothing happened.
So obviously, since the release of the Fiendsmith cards in specific, from what I'm understanding, what you guys are saying is that Lacrima, the fact that it has kind of like a long yuan effect built into everyone's extra deck, Dogwood becomes like a necessary evil in the side deck. Is that what you guys are saying? It's like,
I mean, to be honest, like, every time we talk about necessary evil, right?
Yes.
And it's not like I know it might sound very bad for the people that are watching, right? Because I'm gonna say Fluos, the new Mulcham, is a necessary evil, Dogwood is a necessary evil, but that's how the game is moving. Like I don't see an alternative solution.
Yeah.
And I'm testing 10 hours per day, and I don't see it. Imagine people not being able to test 10 hours per day.
So both of you guys can agree that all these lingering effects that Jess mentioned, these are all unhealthy for the game.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I definitely can agree. Yeah, especially Shifter as well. Like they're just really, really, like you just can't do anything about them. Like counterplay is like very few and far in between, right?
Yes.
At least Charmy you could Ash.
Yes.
But Shifter and Dogwood is call by or bust. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So how would you guys fix this situation? If you guys were Konami, how can you guys fix it? Like, would you guys build a better deck just to counter this, or more hand traps to counter this? Like, what are some countermeasures to improve on this toxicity of these cards?
Well, so regarding the time issue, right? Like Dogwood is played because of the time issue. I think one of the things that we can do is to do when time is called, obviously you would have your battle phase. You should always give your opponent a battle phase too, and I think that kind of like makes it a little bit more interesting instead of like just ending the turn there and then. So you force your opponent, you give your opponent, so like basically like that's kind of like the time rule that I would propose, and it would make Dogwood like a little bit worse because you give your opponent a battle phase for them, you give them the chance to OTK you, and if they OTK you there and then it's game, right? But then if they just try to cheese some damage, right, it's not enough because they need to also attack you and then put up a board, and then your opponent on the other end or is given one opportunity to kind of like, you know, make the life point differential. I think that would be a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
And kind of promotes like the gameplay in a way.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my take on that. Or my other thing is I think you just have to like ban Dogwood, and then like Arata. I think you just have to ban Dogwood, to be honest. Like I think like when it gets close to time, it's actually unironically better than Max C. Like no troll.
Yeah. With
Max C, you can like a lot of decks like they will try to make a half board under Max C. With Dogwood, like you can't even make a board without giving your opponent too much life, and the life points difference is like just game, like you just lose.
No, just like a thing that I saw at the NAWCQ is that people are siding in Dogwood when there's 20 minutes left in time. That's crazy because it takes 10-15 minutes to combo, bro.
We were talking about it before, right?
Holy,
during the question. Playing into a board takes time. Building a board takes time.
Wow.
I was siding Dogwood 15 minutes before time.
So you're one of them.
I mean,
if you
cannot beat them, you join them. If you cannot beat them, you join them.
That's facts. Because bro, everybody has the same level playing field, right? Like you can side Dogwood, I can side Dogwood, Pac can side Dogwood. Everybody has the same level playing field. So that's toxic. Sorry, Pac. Sorry.
But that's
Anyways,
random as hell, right? Like that is, you are literally stating the point of chess right now, because that becomes hella random. You have 33% of losing a game instantly.
Yeah, that honestly, that is, bro. Like I saw the NAWCQ, the EU WCQ finals. The Tenpai guy, Dogwood, the Ritual Beast player, he still played into it, and even with the amount of damage, like he still had more life points than him, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's actually crazy.
I actually think the way that the finals was played out in Europe, I think that was the first time I saw Dogwood being used for its intended purpose, believe it or not. I actually think that was okay. I actually think Dogwood is not being used at that purpose, quite frankly, at like the actual tournaments. I think people are, when you have Dogwood on your side, I think people actively just play a little bit slower, enough to not get like questioned by judges, but to, but enough to like just run the clock, for lack of a better term. Because I feel like when you have those time cards on your side, you feel like you can take more time because, what's the punish? I'll just Dogwood him game 3, worst case, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? So, whereas I think like in the finals of Europe, the guy Dogwooded him with 20 minutes on the clock, I feel like that was kind of like the intended use of Dogwood to almost like outlast the Protoss, right?
Yeah,
he outlasts the like he got pros for fire, Dogwood his opponent, but it lasts, like, you know what I'm saying, he got that extra turn to not get OTK'd, and he set droplets to counteract the Protoss, and then gave him a chance to play next turn.
Someone who made a video about the time rules and how they should change, and it was Thomas Rose. He made the most interesting video about time rules and how to solve them.
How?
And in my opinion, I mean, he was talking about tunes like it's like 15 minutes discussion about how time rules should change and implementation to make them happen without having any issues with Konami employee overworking over the hours and stuff like that.
Yeah, bro, that's that's literally why the time rules were implemented. Did you guys know that, right? So obviously,
I know that.
like I've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I think longer than both of you. So like I've been playing since 2010.
Yeah.
So basically, back in 2010, I remember going to YCSs and these games.
Longer the both of me, brother. I'm in this shit since 2004.
Okay, fam. Like, okay.
You definitely didn't play this game.
No, bro. I played since like I've been playing since 2010, like grade 9. Like when I was in grade 9. So 2012.
Yeah.
But anyways, what I was trying to say was like when I go to these YCSs, right? I remember day ones used to finish at like 12 a.m. Right? So day ones finish at 12 a.m. because like we had the 5 turn rule, right? When it comes to time. Right, it goes, turn 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and obviously these were dragging each round to like even 2 to even 3 hours per round because a bunch of people were going into time. So obviously, like they implemented this rule where it's like, 45 minutes thing. Whoever has the highest life points end of phase has, wins the match if you have the higher life or something like that. So obviously, like, Konami employees are kind of working more hours. I guess venues are also expensive too, right? So you guys gotta consider that aspect. Like, let's say like you're hosting a venue in like Los Angeles, right? Like that's just expensive, obviously, you know what I'm saying? So obviously that's why the time rules were implemented, because people were just taking way too long. But
let's say we sit down, we play a game. Game 1, you lose the roll.
Yep.
The person going first draws 5, but the person going 6 draws 6 instantly. And this is good for a couple reasons. First, you just draw. If you're playing a breaker approach, you would scoop instantly because you drew no breakers and you don't get another draw. And then the people playing hand traps have a better chance at using hand traps to, stop their opponent, which is the intended purpose of hand traps.
Yeah.
Right. It also helps counteract the fact that like hand traps are really bad 6 cards. So like, it helps make hand traps do what they're supposed to do.
Oh, honestly, bro, that actually might sound like a good idea, guys. Yeah, so like
I told you that was genius. Like
genius.
I don't speak facts for no reason.
Wait, so this is just going second? You just draw 6 going second every single time? Okay,
I mean,
bro.
that sounds okay if you're playing an entrap strategy or if you're playing a board breaker strategy. So you know your hand. Entraps are bad if you draw them, as 6-dice pack mentioned before. And like it kind of solves a lot of issues. Like makes a lot of game faster. And for the two, like, and then we can talk about giving additional turns on time, because I really think at this point in time we need to change the time rules, my brother, because those are not doable no more. I think many people realized how time is a so strong win condition. At this point in time, everyone had dogwood in their side deck, and whoever says I don't need dogwood, you're probably capping.
Yeah.
And or probably you are playing a deck that doesn't need the time win con, but most likely you will need at least to have in the main or side the time win con. Well, let's talk about Ritual Beast at Cowboy. Such a beautiful card, right? Maybe let me remind. Maybe there were someone who got banned to have Cowboy in the side deck, right? Okay. The Ritual Beast had Cowboy because it can boost his attack to 3k and inflict a lot of damage, right?
Yeah.
And then we had Snake with Spooky Dogwood, with 3 Phantasme, 3 Mulchumi, in order to increase the odds, because Spooky Dogwood is only 33%. But if we add on top the Mulchami and we add on top the Phantasme, then we are talking around 50%. And that
crazy.
sounds crazy.
That
sounds crazy. You 50% of the time you are losing a game.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. Because of these time rule cards. That's actually ridiculous. Think about it now. So now we talk about blanket effects, and we can all agree that it's absolutely toxic for the game, and Konami should do something about them immediately. Now let's go on to the Fiendsmiths, okay? So Jess mentions that Fiendsmiths has been the highlight as one of the strongest engine ever released. How does this reliance on randomness affect players' strategies and the overall competitive scene? Do you guys think the Fiendsmith engine is bad or good for the game? I think she mentioned that how the engine is just like so splashable that deck building doesn't become like creative anymore, I guess. You know, where everybody can just splash Fiendsmith into your stuff, and then you have your like the Fiendsmiths, you know, in your deck, in everybody's deck. So what are your thoughts on, do you guys like the Fiendsmith, or do you guys don't like the Fiendsmith?
I don't know. I think the cards are really cool. I think the Fiendsmith engine is cool, and I think it's actually fine. I think the problems with Fiendsmith is like not even the Fiendsmith card. It's literally like cards like Beatrice, to be honest. It's like the cards that the Fiendsmith engine leads to is what's caused like a lot of degeneracy. Like literally, I think like the Beatrice stuff is just like so broken. I do understand that like, because if you think about it, without Beatrice, how do you bridge into, for example, Snake Eyes engine?
Yeah, you're right.
Like how do you splash that into Snake Eyes? Like, but and if it's used in a fiend-based strategy like Yubel, then great. Like it's being used in a fiend archetype. Like that sounds, you know what I'm saying? So like I literally think like the issue with the card is because of how broken Beatrice is, to be quite honest. Like I think Fiendsmith is good, but it's as good as the cards that it can go into, right? Like for example, if you ban Appaloosa, you ban Beatrice, is this card as good? Like sure, it's still a great card, but it's not going to be like
as overpowered.
Disgustingly cancer.
Exactly. Yeah. It's not going to be as overpowered, and it's going to be less splashable now, because like, okay, you're just playing Fiendsmith, and okay, you're just making, I guess, Caesar, or you're making like
Yama,
or making Yama, you know what I'm saying?
Caesar, like maybe you make Arrow Eater, like, you know, stuff like that. I think is fine. I think that's cool. But like, bro, when you're like going Beatrice and Snake Eye Ash, make Promethean, like that is come on, bro. Like,
like where does
you draw the line?
Yeah, like where's the correlation?
I literally just addressed 2 of the main reasons of why like cards like Beatrice and Promethean should not exist. Like Promethean having like an effect in the graveyard and an effect on the board It's high. It's actually.
No, I think Prometheus
card,
is fine actually.
Yeah.
the card would be
Prometheus is
great
fine.
if you had only the effect to summon from the graveyard.
Okay, but we can't change that now. We can't change that now.
Prometheus is fine. Prometheus
Yeah.
has to be. Prometheus is fine. The issue is the fire cards are too broken. Like, for example, like I think if you play like a fire deck, like Salamangreat, or like you play like Rescue Ace,
yes.
bro, like it's fine.
I agree.
think the card is actually fine. Like it's not even that crazy. Like, but I mean, it is crazy. It's like really broken, but it's not. I feel like it promotes a lot of interactivity that isn't negates. Because it promote like the form of interaction has on your opponent's turn is very unique. Like it's a pop, right? And it forces you to have a fire monster on the board. And then, but you know, I think Beatrice is like the real like cancer to society.
Beatrice should have
Like
been
that-
banned ages ago.
Yeah.
I don't know why we still standing here talking
Beatrice is the
about
cancer,
Beatrice.
Yeah.
It's literally Laval Valchain on crack.
I do agree with you guys.
Fiendsmiths engine is really cool. I really like the engine. I'm a fan of it. Like I build decks literally putting that. Like I literally just put the Fiendsmiths engine in and I start building my deck afterwards. Like look at how many cool creations it came into. The Magical Musket deck, right, is a good example. You can like I was making like a Unchained Fiendsmith deck where I was like using I was overlaying 2 level 3s into the Jin Tempo, and the Jin Tempo is a Light Fiend that can access Moon right before that can access Requiem before the Moon came out. But yeah, I mean, obviously the fact that like any 2 monsters turns into a free Omni Negate in the form of Disarray is kind of like broken, but you know, there's that Disarray is like
That's
also
fine,
like kind of it's kind of yeah, Disarray is like broken, but it's also kind of balanced in this fact that like, for example, if your opponent activates Lightning Storm on back row, your opponent has to negate it with Disarray, you know?
Yeah.
Which is something because like, you know, before you would summon like Baron in defense or Savage in defense to play around Lightning Storm, right?
Yes.
But now it's like if you summon Disarray in defense, it doesn't actually play around Lightning Storm because if you lose the equips, then it doesn't have an Omni to get anymore, right? So
There are many
there's stuff like that.
counterplays.
So the root of the issue is definitely just Beatrice. So what do you guys think? Just ban Beatrice on the next coming ban list for sure.
It has, bro. Banning Beatrice would be amazing.
It has
to.
Like it does.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
What if it
like
doesn't, Nash?
I
What if it
hope they
doesn't?
ban Beatrice.
What if it doesn't,
They
Ned?
better ban Beatrice.
What happens? Like Nesh, like what would you do? Would you riot? Like would you storm the HQ?
Don't let me don't let me tell you what would happen.
Like,
Otherwise, I'm
what
already
happened?
beyond the Konami script to do it.
What would you do?
But, like,
what would you do to get Beatrice banned? Like what would you do? How far? What would you do, Nesh? Tell me what you do.
Bro,
Who would you kiss?
like, is this like a question? Would you sack my people for $1 million? No, bro. Like I wouldn't do shit. I just hope they do the right thing if they want this game to succeed, because I want this game to succeed. I am so passionate about this game. I love everything related to Ubisoft except for the pricing, and we are gonna address those later. But I love the gameplay. I love the mechanic, brother. Like you have to understand, when I was young, I had no money. I had no business in this game. I could not afford a singular card, and I was drawing cards in my book and test with them. I didn't even know which cards were coming out. I was going on Yu-Gi-Oh market, like copying the effect on paper and testing with those. That's how passionate it drove me.
So you would do nothing to get Beatrice banned? If it doesn't get banned, you do nothing.
I mean, what do you want me to do? Is there anything that would be effective to get Beatrice banned? I would do it.
You do
Anything that doesn't get me to jail, though. Or banned.
Okay. All right, guys. So Beatrice, well, yeah, Nash, you're bro. I knew you were passionate, but not like that passionate. But holy, bro, my respect levels have gone way up for you, bro. Your points in my books off the charts, man. I love you, bro. Next question, we got Jess pointed out that we hardly see any top players consistently doing well anymore. Do you think the introduction of auto-win cards like D-Shifter and Charmy is the contribution to this inconsistency among top players? Pac, why didn't you top nationals, Pac? Tell me.
I actually got sacked, bro. I actually got variance out the tournament.
Okay.
But it just happens.
Were you cheesed? Were you upset?
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to be upset. If you're someone who don't get upset by losing, that means you never cared in the first place. But I'm a very caring person, you know, a very passionate person. So of course it will get me upset. But you know, I think it's like, how do you take that? How do you take those emotions and translate them? Right? Do you just like quit the game, or do you sign up for the next YCS and, you know, is ready to win? Like that's the difference, right? So I think Yeah, that's kind of like my take on it. Like you are gonna get lucky, unlucky at some point. It is card game, but the most important thing people need to realize, and this is for all the bozos out there, you have to differentiate between did you actually get unlucky or did you lose because you misplayed. And I'll be quite frank, I look back at my gameplay and I actually didn't really mess up. I thought I played like out of my mind. I broke the full Snake Eye board with Engine. Like, don't even ask me how.
I honestly was there when you got eliminated from the tournament. How did you lose the tournament, Puck? Explain to them how you lost the tournament.
So Bonfire was my only starter.
Yep.
And of course, I go main phase 1. I activate Bonfire. My opponent goes, okay, that's good. I add Snake Eye Ash. My opponent goes on resolution, chain shifter, chain draw. Okay, my opponent summons Fenrir and OTKs me because he's playing pure Kashtira. In game 2, I have Bonfire and Poplar as my 2 starters. I go activate Bonfire because I just want to see if it resolves or not, but to bait Ash Blossom, right? If I normal Poplar and I get Shifter, I still lose, so it doesn't really play around anything else. So I go activate Bonfire. My opponent goes on resolution, chain shifter, chain draw. Hey man, I'm sorry. Special unicorn, special friend, I'm dead. And boom, that was my turn experience.
And honestly,
and then the round before,
one of the matches. Come on, like that happens. That's about
it happens.
Like,
okay,
that just happens.
Yo, guys, I just want to say one thing. Okay, let's say me, Pac, and Nesh enter a tournament together. Okay, we all go to the tournament. We all have the exact same odds to losing to D Shifter Draw. Just because Pac and Nesh are pro players and I'm not, doesn't mean that they can't get Shifter Draw, or doesn't mean that I can't get Shifter Draw.
Yeah.
Everybody has the exact same playing field. You walk into the tournament, yes, sometimes luck is a factor. Luck is a huge factor in Yu-Gi-Oh! Sometimes you win because your hands are just better than your opponent. Sometimes that's how it is. And sometimes people play the L decks like Kashtira or Flu because they want to see the L cards. They want to play the cards that nobody wants. They want to play like the cards that nobody likes, and that's their competitive edge, right? If you play Flu, you never touch grass ever in your life. And you know what? Flu players, and when they shifter you, they are proud. They are proud to shifter you. You know what I'm saying? They look at me. They look at me. One time I got shifted by a Flu player, bro. Do you know what the guy said to me? Yo, Sam, I'm so sorry, bro. Bro, why are you sorry? Don't say sorry to me, bro. Why are you apologizing?
My opponent apologized to me after my opponent shifter drove me. Hey man, I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry, bro?
For what?
For what? Why are you sorry? Don't say sorry, bro. You play that in your deck. Own it.
The reason why you don't see a lot of top players topping consistently is because of like there's 2 folds, right? You either play Snake Eyes or you play the counter to Snake Eyes.
Exactly.
The counter to Snake Eyes are all shifter decks. Ritual Beast, shifter deck. Tenpai, shifter deck. Flu, shifter deck, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? They're all shifter decks.
Yeah.
And of course,
I would like to point out another thing after that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, yeah, and then or you play the Snake Eye deck. But the thing is, because of like the way that current Yu-Gi-Oh is, there's less of an edge for playing well. Like, bro, if you watch the feature matches, right? With all due respect, some of these people were not playing that well.
No, they're messing
up their combo lines. They're normal summoning Snake Ash
so bad,
and they were ending. They were not ending on the correct boards. But the deck is so broken that it doesn't matter if they don't do the combos correctly. A good example of this is like the guy who got top 4 Euros playing Snake Eyes. In his deck profile, he was literally like, yeah, bro, I didn't know any combos. I learned them on the plane there. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just, you know, sometimes you just get chosen. Sometimes you have to be the chosen one.
That's
and he was the chosen one.
And it's
like,
facts.
it just happens.
And honestly, and I'm not mad at that. I'm not upset at it.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm like, yeah, that's just happens.
Because
like, sometimes like there are formats where you don't need to be as good, and of course you don't need to put in as much work, because if you just get chosen to be the chosen one, then you just get chosen.
Exactly.
You know, I think I'll do my best to, like, you know, mitigate the loss percentages as much as I can.
Yes.
Playing well, sequencing well.
Yes.
You know, all the things I can control. But at some point, it's up to, you know what I'm saying, being chosen.
So guys, bro, at Nationals, when me and Pac were testing together, I was like, yo, Pac, what happens if so in my deck I slide into 15 hand traps, right? And I asked Pac, what happens if I draw only 1 hand trap? And you know, and you know what we came up with? We give it to God.
Oh yeah.
So what we do is,
if you open 1 imperm,
if you open one imperm,
show what you do with the open 1 imperm.
If I open 1 imperm, this is what I do. For the whole tournament, I open a 1 imperm, and sometimes it works, sometimes it didn't. If I open a 1 imperm, 1 hand trap, doesn't matter, 1 imperm, 1 ash, 1 veiler that I have in my side deck, I grab the imperm, I kiss it, point it up to God, activate it, and if they can play through that, they can play through that. But if they pass turn, I am the chosen one, you know? And that is okay. And sometimes I did it. I activated her, I kissed it, activated it on the table. He played through it, and I got and it's okay.
Yeah.
And I accepted it, bro. What else am I supposed to do? Jess has her reasons why she wants to quit. Her reasons are valid, and that's fair. If you want to quit, then go ahead. You know what I'm saying? But with me, it's like, bro, like you need to be able to adapt. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be able to adapt to the game. Like for example, if you know that Chummy is out, why the fuck are you still playing Flu?
I mean, you could say the same why people were playing Ritual Beast. We got to Ritual Beast in the top 64.
No, like, but the thing with Chummy is that I think like good Ritual Beast players like Herman, can actually play around it. Like we talked about it.
I told him.
So it doesn't. Chummy doesn't actually hurt the deck as much. But yeah, I do agree. Like on the Summons, like if a card is very popular in the meta
against your deck,
Bistos are popular in the meta.
Against your deck,
Bistos are popular in the meta. Yep. Would I go to a tournament and play Despia? No.
There you go.
I think one of the skill in Yu-Gi-Oh!
Is learning to adapt,
making the right meta call, right? Making that right call,
exactly.
Right. So like if you go to a tournament and you know everyone plays like Dimensional Shifter, like let's take for example last year Nationals, I knew everyone played Shifter and Kashtira. What did I do? Either play Kashtira or play a deck that doesn't lose to Shifter. What are the options? Exo Sister like Santoli. I played Pearly. Decks that if you get shifted, you can still make moves within the game, right?
Exactly.
But if you're playing like, for example, Dragon Link, okay, like Nesh, for example. I don't know if you played it, but I don't know. It feels like a Dragon Bozo.
Yeah, I remember Nesh.
Dragon Link, and you get shifted. GG. Scoop it up. 33% time you just lost.
Pass, my brother.
Okay, no, but what we're saying is like you need to adapt, fam. Like, why you playing Dragon Link in the shifter format? You have to make the call, bro. And if
I'm a meta ship. I only play the best decks.
No, but I'm just saying, if you decide not to make the call and you decide to quit, then bro, that's on you, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different options out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not discrediting the fact that you're quitting because of these cards, but like, obviously, if you're just tired of the game anymore, which is completely valid, you can be tired, you can quit. But I'm just saying there are alternative options always. You know what I'm saying? With especially when it comes to deck choices. So just because Fiendsmith is out and all these cards are in the meta contributes in top players topping less. I don't believe in that. You know, it's just variance, bro. Like Pogden topped the NAWCQ because of variance, and it's okay. And it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like other people's topped as well. Random people top as well, which is completely fine. But like you said, sometimes you're the chosen one, bro. Sometimes
everyone's not a top player at some point too. You have to also keep that in mind.
Exactly.
They all start somewhere, right?
So we were talking about like people getting in the top cut or not having the same names. But what if right now we are facing a new generational change, right? Because Pac when he started was a bozo, Jesse when he started was a bozo,
yeah.
Christian Urena when he started
was a
bozo.
When I started playing, I was insane. Okay.
No one knew before, like proving your point. There might be a generational change. We might have new faces that we never saw before, that they are trying to make a name for themselves. So why do we have to talk why do we have always to talk about the dinosaurs of the format?
Yeah. Honestly, Nash, I do agree with that. Yeah. What if there's a change coming? But I'll be honest, sometimes I watch all the top cut, bro. People are actually ass. I'm just saying. Like, they just like the decks are so broken, it doesn't matter how ass they are, bro. Like the combos, like they just like the deck just is rewarding. You know what I'm saying? Like, look at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, in against Given Puppets, I misplayed. You guys saw I misplayed? Look, I was still able to end on 10 negates.
Yeah.
I misplayed so bad against Given Puppets. Game 3, it didn't matter if I made the god board. I was getting by evilly droplet regardless.
Yeah, but you were winning though. Don't swear on me. What? I watched that shit.
What?
You can talk about the game 3, right? But you cannot talk about the game 2 because you didn't mention the game 2 on purpose. You had Ash Blossom.
Yes.
Ash Blossom.
I know. I didn't know how to play it. I didn't know. I was supposed to ash the rogue doll.
That's your problem.
I know.
You were not prepared for gaming, Papa.
I know. I was supposed to ash the rogue doll. I ashed the fuse, but I lost.
Yeah,
okay.
You got roll dogged.
Yes, I know. I got. Yes.
That's not variance. That's ignorance.
No, but I was losing anyways, bro. He had the
game
scissors.
You were losing anyways.
Yeah, scissors. Yeah, scissors, bro. He's normal summon scissors. Send the baby. Ash for what?
If your opponent opens field spell plus rogue doll, you lose. It doesn't matter what you ash.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, bro. He opened rogue doll scissors. He opened rogue doll scissors, Nesh. So we're gonna talk about the category called the hype of Yu-Gi-Oh and the pricing of Yu-Gi-Oh. Okay, so Jess questioned if the hype of Yu-Gi-Oh is gone. Do you think the community's excitement has dwindled? And if so, what factors do you believe are responsible for this change? Nesh and Pak, are you guys excited for Yu-Gi-Oh right now?
I am always excited. There were maybe one format in the entire history of Yu-Gi-Oh that I hated the most.
Which one?
But I'm always excited.
Which one would you hate the most?
It was Wind Up Insector format. That was one of the worst one for me. But that's a personal matter. Like,
Okay.
it's a personal opinion, to be honest. For someone, it might have been great. For me, it was horrendous, like on several levels. But that's another story that we can address maybe another time. But like, I'm always excited. Because every time I see a new card, every time I see OCG news, I go study them, I go on the OCG data. Bro, I have a Chinese account.
Does it turn you on? The new stuff turns you on? You think
Yeah, for the new stuff, like to see the new combo. I literally made a Chinese account that you can have only with a Chinese visa. I do have a Chinese account. That sounds crazy.
So it turns you on. It like really turns you on. New
What do you mean turns me on?
No, I'm just like makes you excited. Like turns you on.
Yeah, like everything related to the gameplay, everything related to the mechanics, ruling, etc., and so on forward, like makes me super excited.
Would you kiss it if it was a person?
I feel under crack when I talk about you.
Would you kiss it if it's a person or no? I'm just I'm just asking you, if this whole thing was a person, would you kiss it or no? Wait, Nesh, hello, you there?
I'm hella excited, bro. Like I literally sleep thinking and dreaming about Snake Eyes combo. You know what I'm saying?
Are you serious? Really?
Like I'm just, bro. Like like I said, I can't retire yet until I'm retired as the GOAT. You know, if I retired as like the fifth place guy, like what's the point?
Yeah, you're a loser.
You know, so for me, it's like I'm hyped, because I'm like I feel like I haven't lived up to my potential yet. So I feel like every time I go to a tournament, I'm like, I'm gonna prove it to all the fans, you know. And then of course also I guess like playing devil advocate, I think the Konami should do better by like, you know, more notable players and try to integrate more like that storytelling, right? And like I think do more for their notable players to kind of like build even more hype, right? Because I think like it's kind of like, you know how like when you watch like the Super Bowl, you have your favorite, you know, player. Like, like I'm saying, you're watching football, you have your favorite like quarterback, like Eli Manning or whatever.
Yep.
It's like I feel like you need to do more of that within this game and build that competitive storytelling, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's like an example of like where they could do better in terms of like building that hype. But I do think that like hype is still there. I just think that they need to I think Konami can make it even better, right?
I'm so excited as well. I'm always excited for the new cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! And my whole thing is adaptability. If you're able to adapt to today's metagame, you're able to adapt to anything. You know, whether or not it be deck choices, deck techs, or card techs, you know what I'm saying, in your deck. I'm always excited in deck building. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get excited when Pac was like, yo, Sam, you have to try this new deck. Or Nash was like, Sam, yo, try this new combo. Like, I get excited. For me, the way I play Yu-Gi-Oh! Is I don't test against a lot of people. You know, my way of testing is just like against either Nash or Pac. And I just play by myself, bro.
He's so free, guys.
I just play by myself. I just combo by myself. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I do understand what Jess tried to say, that there is no excitement stuff, but I disagree on that point.
Yeah.
I think the European WCQ was actually the most successful like European WCQ ever, first of all. And I saw people like very excited. Like I was there, and I can prove you guys that like it was very good. Like it was actually a very good event.
Sometimes new cards can be overwhelming for new players or for players that are currently playing competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people aren't just interested in the Fiendsmith cards, and that's completely valid. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't have to like Fiendsmith. Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to like it. You know, trust me, I know a lot of people that don't like it as well. So with the release of Infinite Forbidden, a lot of people were so happy to get like this new set. You know what I'm saying? Like this set is like kind of like the bridge to stuff that it's gonna be coming in, and it's gonna get crazier. You know, and like in the future. So yeah, like new sets are always exciting, and I think Infinite Forbidden, alongside the new Exodia cards, the new Dark Magician cards, are a very exciting set. You know, especially with the new Fiendsmith stuff. So yeah, I don't think, me personally, and with Nash and Pac, excitement has changed at all. What are your guys' thoughts? Are you guys excited, or do you guys hate the Fiendsmith stuff? Let us know in the comment section below. You know, staying on the topic of pricing seems to be a significant issue. With Jess mentioned that a lot of effort is put into Yu-Gi-Oh! For little to no reward. How important is pricing in maintaining players' interest and dedication to the game? What prizes have you guys won? And do you guys play for pricing?
Well, first of all, guys, I hope you guys know, like, everyone always talks about, oh, like, if you haven't won a prize card, you can't really talk on it. Fam, I won like 8 prize cards. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can
we see them or not?
I think.
Did you have money?
Yeah, you want to just bring it up, like, just for jokes or what?
Yeah, just you know, like, yeah. What prizes have you won, bro, in Yu-Gi-Oh?
Do you think it's too much or no?
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. Yeah, guys, this is also. I've only won 1 prize cards. This event. I just won another verse Glutonia like Pac, and we have many. Ness, can you show us your another verse Glutonia as well? Ness, can you show us your Glutonia that you got as well? Ness, since you're like a big advocate of pricing, can you show us the pricing that you got or no? Like, you always have a big opinion. So.
No, Pac, I gave it to Pac.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, so yeah, this is the price card I won.
I don't even, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get I'm short. I can probably build a throne of these and probably about like 8 more Weisses win, I think.
Yo, he stole my joke. That sounds crazy. He's using the joke, so I cannot say it later. That is crazy. That is crazy.
That's what you're saying. You're saying I outplayed you or what?
I outplayed me on the joke, so I cannot use the joke no more.
Wait, Pac, wait. So how many switches is there?
I think like 6 or 7 actually.
Okay, so and honestly, guys, if you guys have made it this far into the video, we're gonna do something that Pac doesn't even know. But guys, we're gonna be giving away one of Pac's Nintendo Switches today to one lucky winner in the comments. All you guys gotta do is be subscribed to the channel, subscribe to these 2 boys. All right, guys, and I want you guys to like this video and leave a comment. Just leave a comment what you guys would change for pricing. Okay.
Okay. At the end of the comment, you have to say SP10, Supreme Pro 10. All right, SP10. Yeah. So we know you actually got to this part of the video.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. And you guys, that is secure your entry. And the way you guys are gonna win, Pac is gonna reply to a comment, let's say a week or 2 weeks later, and then I'll take care of the shipping and everything to you guys. I got you. All right. And okay, so we'll do that. But anyways, okay. So Pac, out of all these events that you went to, how many did? Okay, let's say this year, how many switches did you win? How many this year so far?
This year, I won 2 Weisses this year, got top 4.
Yep.
So I think like 3.
Won 3 switches. Okay, you won 3 switches. And how many prize cards did you win this year?
Yeah. No, I won 4, bro. I won all 4 switches. I won this year because we got second. Remember, we got second at Vegas.
Oh yeah, I got a switch too.
Yes. Yep, you got to switch too. Yeah. So we got second at Vegas. I got top 8 at Bologna. No, top 4 at Richmond. Sorry, top 4 at Richmond.
Yep.
And then, yeah, first. So Costa Rica and San Jose. So yeah, so 4 switches this year.
So you have 4 switches. And how many prize cards did you win this year?
Also 4.
So you won 4 switches, 4 prize cards.
Yeah, because I got first, second, third.
Okay.
4. Yeah.
So okay, so how much are these prize cards worth on average? So like out of all 4 prize cards, what is your value on all those on 4?
Yeah, the Ultra is about like 5 to 6K.
Okay.
So I have 2 Ultras. So show you guys.
So $12,000.
Yep, and then the Supers are about like they're like 400 probably because they drop down dramatically after national season.
Okay, so let's just say that I got like 800, so you 13,000.
Yep.
Right.
So that's about that for this year, yeah. And then all the switches about like $20 each. So I won about like 14K, 15K in pricing.
So you won 14 and 15K in pricing this year so far. Okay, so it's almost we're all halfway point. You won 14.
But he had the God run. He had the God run.
though.
Okay, wait.
He had the God run, and the Glutonia is actually unsellable. There is a reason why they call it the unsellable Glutonian. And who the fuck is gonna buy the Switch? You can say that's gonna be 200 a piece, 200 a pop, but no one is gonna buy that shit.
Okay, Nash, honestly, I really appreciate it. But you don't know the experience on selling a prize card yet. So just give it a moment. I'm trying to do my math here. Okay, Nash, okay? How are you telling us that it's unsellable when you haven't sold one yet? Just calm down, Nash. Okay, I know you're excited, but just take it easy. Calm down. Okay, wait. So you want, let's say, 15 grand in 2 YCS wins and 2 YCS tops. 15 grand. Okay.
Yep.
What would do you think you made your money back yet from like travel expenses, going to these events,
Yes.
hotel?
Well, yeah, for me, yeah, for me personally, yes. For me, I have to say yes. Yeah.
Yes.
There is Cap! Regional season, literally the last week of the regional season when he didn't know not even if he was making it or not, he spent 2,000 to travel for regionals.
No, that's not true. That's not, no, Nesh. The flights were like $200, bro. And I also by making top. Oh wait, I have another prize card. I forgot it's in my bag. I forgot to take it out. Sorry, because when you make playoffs at NAWCQ, I was in the top 16 players of the season. They also give you another prize card. So I actually have one more prize card. I forgot in my bag.
Do you guys honestly think that these prizes are worth it though, Pac? You think? Like what do Magic players and Locano players get for coming first at a YCS?
So their version of a DLC, they get a Mickey Mouse that's serialized, and it's about 30K. What? Yeah, I think like a PSA 10 recently sold on the auction house for 30K. Yeah, it's a PSA 10 too. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Nesh, because I know you topped, and you are the king of getting the playmats. How much are those playmats, Nesh?
That was $200 almost.
So you top 32 at YCS, you get $200, right? And you get the sleeves are only for top 16, right, guys?
That's top 64 euros, which is they give you a special playmat because that playmat is only for NAS specifically. So the NAS one is worth more. But
the back of the playmat. I took the playmat.
Yeah, but for regular YCS you get you get another mat. It's like legit like $50 max, $50. Yeah.
So $50 playmat for topping and working so hard to lose to top 64 or top 32. You get a playmat. Does $50 cover all your expenses? The food,
hell no.
The travel, the gas, the flights. Do you guys think do you think it covers or no?
No,
hell no.
Wow. So Konami, please, can you make it a little bit better for us? You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, like,
okay. Yeah. I really want to talk about it.
Okay, Nash, I'm sorry, you talk about it. Speak, please, go, Nash, go speak. Please,
okay,
please.
I'm not saying that the game shouldn't make you rich, but if you are at a high level game such as Pac, right? Such as Jesse Cotton, such as Christian Urena, like the game should pay for itself. That's all I feel.
At least break even, right?
You should at least break even.
Also, if you guys are entering YCS, Konami does a survey where they ask you how you feel about certain things about the game. I recommend you guys taking that survey at every regional, at every YCS. And what's really good about that survey is that you guys will have a chance to win like a Rescue Rabbit plushie. You guys just take a survey to let Konami know how you feel about the game. And you guys can have a chance to win a $200 plushie, which is actually a huge plus. But I know a lot of people don't take that survey. So if you guys can take that survey from me right now in the comments and let us know how you feel, you guys can also win a Nintendo Switch from us. You know, we're not sponsored by the way. It's not sponsored by the way. And you know, it'll just be good to get feedback to Konami out there. There are reports of players quitting Yu-Gi-Oh! To join other card games with better pricing. How do you think this trend will impact the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! Community?
Okay, we were talking about how the game should be auto-sustainable, right?
Yes.
One Piece and Lorcana are auto-sustainable if you do well.
Yes.
And sometimes you also go positive. I don't want to talk if like you actually go positive in Lorcana, you can break even in One Piece or do positive, but that's not what matters. The fact is breaking even. Because there are people, in my opinion, and from my experience, like the age of the Yu-Gi-Oh players are 25 plus.
It's not
sure if you have a family, if you have a work, and you cannot really spend a lot of money into the game, but you still can do well.
Yes.
Like you can enjoy your hobby and breaking even. So it's not like I'm asking to be a billionaire by playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm asking for the people that do put total amount of time to be rewarded breaking even and being able to enjoy one more format. Yes. I watched from the start multiple times. I read that shit multiple times. I love it. I love it. I love everything about One Piece. And I can see why people are being driven from the Yu-Gi-Oh scene to the One Piece scene. Because the lore is the same if you think about it. When I was a child, I enjoyed this particular brand, I enjoyed the anime, and now I'm enjoying the card game. So the lore is the same as Yu-Gi-Oh! We had the manga, we had the anime, and now we have a card game, right? Do you agree on that?
I agree. But honestly,
then you compare it with having a better pricing, having a game that's freshly started, so I can start from zero, right? And it's not as complicated because it's fresh.
I think Konami is taking steps to kind of like improve coverage, but I feel like that's mainly true on European, like the European side.
Yeah.
I know NA had a little bit of a difficulty with like, bro, the screen was so small, like the actual playing field, like they couldn't actually see like the actual
guess what?
cards.
We didn't have event for 1 year. If they didn't improve that shit, I would be so mad.
No, exactly. So like, I think like, I feel like there needs to be some sort of consistency across like different regions. And I think that like, I know like, for example, when I played Sao Paulo in 2023, right? They streamed South America for the first time ever. I think like the South American YCS should also gain more coverage, right? Because like YCS Cancun, for example, has a really big venue. Why don't they stream that? Like I think these are like good examples of where like they should try to do as much coverage as possible, just so that it can bring more people. Like, it builds that hype that we were talking about, right? Like if we can see your favorite players on screen, you know, see people's final moments when they're right about to like win the YCS, right? Like those type of like iconic moments is what builds the hype. Like think about the fact if Joshua and Billy's game were never streamed, we would never see it. It would never be part of the Yu-Gi-Oh's history, you know?
Yeah.
But the fact that it was streamed back-to-back YCS, back-to-back finals, right? That is an example, you know, that is hype.
Yeah.
But then, you know what I'm saying? So that is an example of like Konami's role in like the community dynamics. I think that's what we want to see.
The last one I want to talk about is Jess mentioned that she walked out of the top 8 at the World Championships with nothing. How does this lack of tangible awards for top players reflect on the state of competitive Yu-Gi-Oh? Like, does this look bad on us, guys? Like, what do you guys think? Walking top 8 of a Worlds with nothing.
From my understanding, like after I saw the video, I was kind of in the heat of the moment and I made the video about it. But from my understanding, you actually get a bag for going to Worlds, which is worth, what, 20K or stuff like that?
A bag worth of 20K? Okay. Oh, wow. So so there's no prize for top 8, but if you like just attend Worlds, you get a goodie bag worth of $20,000.
I don't know if it's that much, but I do know you get like a bunch of like valuable sleeves. Like the sleeves at Worlds are like really like, I remember they were reselling for like $150 a pack, $200 a pack. Like Enzo, one of my homies, went to Worlds that year, and he, you know, graciously sold them to me for way less, you know. Yeah, like he was telling me that he made like probably, I think it's closer to like 3-4K. I don't think it's 20, but yeah, they were selling sleeves and like the extra like, you know, merch you get just from like attending. But yeah, it's like around 3-4K, I would say, maybe like 5, like on the high end.
That's not that bad then. Like for Yu-Gi-Oh, that's not that bad. I thought they actually get nothing.
That's not that bad, yeah.
Pac knows my dream. I hope that this game I really hope that this game would be an esport. Like Pac knows my dream, and I know how much is impossible. I know that shit, no matter how much I can dream about it. But I really hope that this game would be an esport, because that takes so much skill to be like to play this game.
Honestly, like hearing it now is like, it's actually not that bad. If you get like if you go to Worlds, you get 3-4K worth of stuff. I know that like winning, you win like 80K worth of stuff, right?
I heard Joshua talking about multiple zeros. That's why I mentioned 20K.
Wait, yo, Pac, wait. What are like how much do you think they win if you win Worlds?
From what I heard, sold for 80K.
Wow. Wait, what?
It was a Japanese collector that was interested in, I guess, like Dark Magician S cards, Blue Eyes looking S cards, and like the prize card last year was a sorcerer. Like looks very similar to like, you know, the Dark Magician archetype. And so, you know, it definitely, and you can see here the trend that if a card looks similar to like the anime, like the Dark Magicians, the Blue Eyes, like all that good stuff, right? It has a lot more value. And bro, it sold for 80 bands. 80 bands. 80 bandits. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so okay. All right, it's not that bad then. I thought she got nothing. Okay, so she got like at least like a goodie bag, at least 3-4K, but obviously that honestly should be a huge motivation for you guys to actually go to Worlds, because if you win, $80,000 is actually a lot. Jess' main points were about the increasing power level of card design leading to less consistent top players and poor pricing making the game less rewarding. Do you agree with her statement, and what changes would you suggest to address these issues? Quickly, Nesh, do you agree or disagree with everything that we talked about?
I mean, I do. I mean, I think we both share almost the same opinion on the matter. In my opinion, like if you have to talk about the game mechanic and stuff, should be the time, and the pricing should be improved by having more exclusive stuff.
Yeah, I think definitely better pricing would be nice. I think that'll be, you know, as someone who like, you know, makes Top Cut and do get prize cards and stuff like that, like I think it would be cooler. I think it would be sick. To have better pricing. And then I also think that Konami could do a better job at building hype for the community. right? Like I think they can do a better job on like the storytelling, and I think maybe that can encourage more people to come to their live streams, right?
Yes.
I've never seen us hit like 10K viewers. Like maybe you can break 5 digits, right?
Yeah.
And then also like attendance, right? Like I know like we're getting a lot of people, we're breaking records attendance wise. So at the end of the day, like I know that like a lot of people are quitting, a lot of people not really feeling that great about the game, but the issue is that like from a corporation standpoint, they see it as, look, we're breaking record numbers in terms of attendance. People are all-time high attending YCS, attending NAS, attending Euros. So I think what we need to do is almost like a call to action. Like I think that if you guys are attending any of these events, like YCS or NAS, you should be taking time out of your day to fill out the survey to give the feedback of what you want improvement on, right? So.
If you guys can leave in the comments below on how the pricing of the game can be structured and how it can change, and also, you know, the game mechanics and, you know, dealing with like blanket effects like Charmy or also D-Shifter, how would you guys change it? How would you guys change the time rules? How would you guys implement newer pricing? Let us know in the comment section below, and you guys can also have a chance to win a free Nintendo Switch by subscribing to the channel and also subscribing to Nesh and also to Pak as well. Boys, any last words before we sign off?
Pack 10 for Supreme Pro. You already know. TX1.com.
Lingering effects should not exist.
Thumbs up to Nesh for one day getting a prize card. All right, guys. Peace.